Hi, this is Wes Kussmaul again. We've shown how digital signatures work, and we've shown a little bit about the enrollment process. Our company, the Authenticity Institute, serves as a combination of licensor and incubator to a collection of commercial and non-commercial organizations called the Authenticity Alliance. We hope you'll consider participating in the efforts of the Authenticity Alliance member organizations to bring authenticity to our online and physical worlds. Each is or will be led by an entrepreneur who is knowledgeable in its target market. The Authenticity Institute provides the use of intellectual property, training, methods and procedures, support, business models, a chart of accounts and accounting system, and basic business services needed by our licensees in order to deliver authenticity to their particular target audience. Our intellectual property includes patents pending on credential technology, on the quantification of identity quality, and others. And there is one more very important asset that we bring to our licensees. That asset is a very special relationship. Let me explain why this relationship is needed by our licensees. I'm a free enterprise enthusiast, but in this case I'm afraid that the job of attestation must be done by the same people who issue genuine birth certificates, driver's licenses, passports, building and occupancy permits, professional licenses, etc. For attestation to be worth anything, it must be done by DCPA, duly constituted public authority. We need a non-commercial participant in our network of authenticity organizations, a source of duly constituted public authority. Its authority must apply in the required jurisdiction, which covers this turf. Because packets of information on the Internet know nothing about national boundaries, national laws, national law enforcement agencies, and there will always be some country that uses spam and identity theft and online crime as a national industry and export that helps the balance of payments. In 2002, as I was writing this book about a PKI-based authenticity infrastructure, I was introduced to a group at the International Telecommunication Union that was planning something very similar to my quiet enjoyment infrastructure. It was called the World eTrust Initiative. The special asset that we bring to our licensees is our relationship with the International Telecommunication Union in constituting a source of legitimate public authority. The ITU was founded in 1865 to, would you believe, resolve conflicting national laws regarding encryption of telegraph messages. This, the oldest international governance body in the world, sets standards for cross-border telephone and network switching, broadcast frequencies, signal strength, any situation where signals cross national boundaries. We are establishing our non-commercial source of duly constituted public authority, the World City Hall, the Authenticity Alliance member organization, the City of Osmio. On March 7, 2005, we held the Quiet Enjoyment Infrastructure meeting at the Geneva headquarters of the ITU to start putting together a source of appropriate, worldwide, duly constituted public authority. That's Alex Natoko, head of the ITU World eTrust Initiative on the left, and Ugo Bicchini, who is representing the International Union of Latin Notaries as we work on the municipal charter of our new city. Osmio's location is the most convenient in the world. It's on your desktop or in your pocket. A year later, Hamadoun Touré, the head of the ITU division that put forth the World eTrust Initiative, was elected Secretary General of the ITU. Dr. Touré then appointed me to the high-level experts group of the ITU's global cybersecurity agenda. Here's a short clip from my address in that capacity to the UN's World Summit on Information Society. Because there's only one city hall, one issuer of professional licenses. Now, where do we find worldwide duly constituted public authority that is appropriate to this job? Where else but in that public entity that has been applying public authority to digital communications since 1865? It's the ITU, of course. The city of Osmio was founded right here in this building at ITU headquarters on March 7th, 2005, to see how the city of the future will deliver authenticity, the basis of quiet enjoyment, to our online spaces. Perhaps one day it will be osmio.int. When that happens, you'll know that the ITU has accepted jurisdiction over our fair city of Osmio, providing a city hall to the world. And here is our World City Hall and its Vital Records Department, which will be happy to generate a digital birth certificate for you. Osmio's Vital Records Department, operating under a certification practice statement established by the Osmio Certification Practices Commission, signs public keys establishing identity certificates, but only when requisite evidence of identity is provided to it by an enrollment officer acting on behalf of an authorized enrollment authority. Presently, that means our Authenticity Alliance member organization, Reliable Identities. In traditional PKI parlance, Reliable Identities is a registration authority. Reliable Identities is licensed by the City of Osmio to supervise the gathering of evidence supporting a claim of identity and the submission of certificate signing requests to the Osmio Vital Records Department. A more rigorous set of enrollment procedures are performed by a signing agent, a specially qualified notary who, among other things, knows how to check ID in a face-to-face process that involves an oath, an affidavit, and a jurat. The legal effect of a notarial action is to apply public authority to a document by means of a face-to-face procedure. Unlike some commercial certification authorities, which improperly and perhaps illegally use the term notary to apply to individuals with no public authority. That produces our digital birth certificate, Osmio's more rigorous and costly set of enrollment procedures for more demanding relying party situations. If a more lightweight identity will suffice for you and your relying parties, you can avoid a trip to a notary with our alternative to the digital birth certificate called ValID. ValID enrollments are performed remotely. In both enrollment procedures, digital birth certificate and ValID, a key pair is generated under the supervision of Reliable Identities. Let's assume your situation calls for the higher identity quality of a digital birth certificate. In that case, Reliable Identities will send you to a website where you'll fill in a form that generates an affidavit of identity. You'll print the affidavit and take it to a signing agent, that specially qualified notary I mentioned, who will check your ID and administer an oath. After that, our enrollment officer will help you generate your private and public key and submit the public key along with the enrollment officer's attestation that your assertion of identity has been properly validated. If all is in order, the public key will be signed by the Osmio Vital Records Department. That brings us to the ValID enrollment, the less rigorous and less costly alternative to the face-to-face procedures called for by the digital birth certificate. For one type of ValID enrollment, you'll need to be reachable at a telephone number that is published under your name or at your place of employment. Still less rigorous and less costly ValID enrollments require you to prove identity using techniques that we call PII corroboration, which is similar to knowledge-based authentication. Regardless of which enrollment procedure is used, our patent-pending Identity Quality Assurance System yields an identity quality score based upon specific criteria. Identity Quality Assurance provides a way of knowing that an identity assertion is appropriate as measured in each of 8 categories for a particular relying party or application. Each of the 8 dimensions of identity quality is measured on a scale of 0 to 9, with 0 being the lowest rating in a particular dimension. Thus, the highest quality ID will carry a score of 72. With that one, you can buy an office building on another continent while sitting in your den. And so, the Osmio VRD Certification Authority attests to more than current validity of an identity credential. It also attests to the quality of an identity as measured in 8 dimensions. This quantification of identity quality answers concerns of enterprises that need to know the costs and benefits of a particular enrollment program. In the video, entitled Identity Quality, we'll go into the specifics of those 8 categories.